Hello and welcome to class 1 of 6 in the Intro to Athletic Training series. We will teach you how to produce and absorb force dynamically with control. Classes move from beginner to advanced progressions over the course of the series. It is for anyone with a desire to feel more athletic and is approachable for all fitness levels. All you'll need is some weights and your water, so let's get started. We're going to start with a warm-up down on the mat here. We're going to start in a half kneeling position. So I'm going to start with my left leg in front. We're going to place both hands just outside the front foot. And then we're guiding the front knee forward as far as possible while keeping your foot flat on the mat. So we're looking for some good ankle, knee, and hip flexion here, and just settling into a little mobility just to get things warmed up in the body. You might feel a stretch through that front of the back hip or the right hip as well. And take a breath here. From here, we're going to send the hips back, straighten the front leg out. You can reach your front foot forwards a little bit here and find a nice stretch in through the hamstrings of this front leg. Roll your shoulders back, lift the chest a little bit here, and take another breath. And then reposition yourself so you're coming up tall, half kneeling. We're going to actively tuck the pelvis here, find some length again through that back hip, and then reach the right arm up towards the ceiling, creating some space between your ear and your shoulder, and then over to the side, finding a nice stretch down the side of the body here. And then take this right arm, we're gonna open it up and reach behind us. Drop the shoulders down, take the left hand to the inside of the left knee, push it away, and then just tuck the ribs down for better alignment here as you rotate. Nice, we're gonna do that whole flow one more time, coming back to the first position, knee over toes as far as possible of that left leg. You'll notice you'll be able to sink into these positions a little bit easier on the second go around. Send the hips back, keep the knee a little bit bent, but the front leg is straighter. Reaching the hips back and the chest forward. Find that stretch through the hamstrings. And then reposition so that your front foot is under the front knee. Tuck the pelvis and then reach the right arm up and over for a little side stretch. Lastly, rotating, reaching the right arm back. Lock that front knee from caving inwards of the left leg. Nice work. We have two sides, so we're going to switch sides. Right foot forward this time. Hands come to the mat. You can move your back knee back a little bit to get more length, and then gently press your body into that front leg, encouraging it to come into this nice flex position. Sending the hips back for your hamstring stretch on the right side. I'm going to sneak my toes forward a little bit, sit the hips back, actively lift the chest. Finding a nice stretch in the hamstrings on the right. And then coming up to that tall half kneeling position, tuck the pelvis, squeeze your left glute, reach the left arm up. Careful not to shrug too much up into the neck, and then maybe a little side bend. Left arm goes back, rotate. Right arm blocks that right knee. Drop the shoulders, and then hug the ribs down. so we don't get too much extension into the back. And then take it through once more on the right, knee over toes. I can get a little bit more range of motion, I'm noticing, in the second round. Coming back to your hamstring stretch, hips back, foot forward, lift that chest. Take a breath or two here. Just easing into our work today. Coming up to that tall half kneeling position last time, tuck the pelvis, reaching the left arm up. I feel that stretch all the way down into the hip. And then last rotation, opening up the chest and shoulders. Nice. So we're going to come down for some glute bridges and some other activation exercises before we get into our dynamic movement. So make your way onto your back with your knees bent and your feet flat, shoulders away from your ears. And then we're going to get rid of any space between our back and the floor by doing a little pelvic tuck. You can exhale, feel your abs turn on when you do that action. So again, getting rid of the space, pelvic tuck. And then before I lift the hips off the ground, I'm going to engage the glutes here first, and then lift on the exhale as high as you can. Breathe in to come down. Exhale up. We're going for 10 repetitions here. So not too fast, just nice and smooth at your own pace. Exhale up. Inhale down. If you lose that pelvic tuck, just try to re-engage at the bottom. Three more here. Getting our hips warm. Working on alignment. And finding some support through the core as well. Excellent work. Next, we're going to come onto your side, supported on the elbow, and the knees will be stacked here. They're going to be the point of contact, so your feet are behind you. And then from here, we're going to lift the hips off the ground, so we're in a nice straight line. We're also lifting this top leg. So we're going to do that 5 times. Breathe in, come down. Touch the hip to the floor, exhale up, 2, nice. Breathe in, come down, exhale up. 2 more on this side. Last one. And slowly lower, great. We have 2 sides, so we're gonna flip ourselves around for the second side. So this is great for warming up the shoulders and the abductors, the sides of the hips, and the core as well. So press away from the floor to create that supportive shoulder. Coming up with the hips off the ground and lifting this top leg 5 times. Exhale up, inhale down. Last one here. Awesome. So we're going to come up to standing for our last warm-up exercise here. We're warming up the lower legs. This will be important for our more dynamic movements. So we're just doing calf raises. If you need to hold on to something, a chair or a wall, feel free. I'm going to do them just standing, freestanding here. So all we're doing is keeping our feet underneath the hips, maybe a little closer together. And then we're lifting the heels off the ground, trying to do this controlled for 10 repetitions. So we're coming up onto the toes as high as you can, and then lower back down. That's 1. You want to lower with control. So you really have to pay attention to where your body is on top of your feet. Exhale up. Inhale down. If you drop quickly down, don't worry. Just try your best to control that. Try to focus your efforts on coming up towards the big toes and not rolling to the outsides of the feet. 2 more good ones here. Excellent work. So last round through the warm-ups, we're coming back to our glute bridge. Find your way onto your back. Make sure your feet are under your knees, shoulders away from ears, and then tuck the pelvis, get rid of the space between your back and the floor. Squeeze your glutes first, and then start to lift off the floor on your exhale. We're gonna do 10, coming down. Try to maintain your tensions into your abdominals and then also your glutes, the whole set. Trying to press evenly through both legs. Take your time, 3 more. Really warming up hip extension here. Nice. We want the hips to be nice and fiery. So coming back to your side lying position or side support position. Again, press your body away from the floor, away from your shoulder to create that support, and then hug into your armpit. Stack the knees, feet behind. 5 lifts, hips lift into a straight line, lift the top leg. Come back down without collapsing into the shoulder, so stay nice and strong. Two more good ones, controlling both directions. Nice work. Second side, spin yourself around. Stack the elbow and shoulder in line. Get your supportive tensions and then exhale to lift. The top leg should be just a little bit behind you at the top, but not in front of your body. That way you'll really feel that outer part of the hip. Last one. Nice. Take your time coming back up to standing. Feet are hip width apart or maybe a little bit closer together. Again, if you need something to hold on to for support, all good. We're coming up onto the toes, lifting the heels as high as you can. Woo! And then slowly lower the heels for 10. Exhale up. Helpful to look at a fixed point for this one, since it requires a little bit of balance. And whatever you want to do with your hands is all good. Can be helpful to have them out if you're working on balance here. And then again, focus on coming up towards the big toes. That'll prevent that rolling to the outside of the feet. Last one. Nice, lower leg are nice and fiery. Great job. Warm up complete. We're now going to practice some introductory movements to our athletic training that we are working on today. So body weight for the first one, we're working on landing, and then later on in the series, it'll turn into jumping. So landing is very important. We want to make sure we're soft but solid when we're receiving the ground from jumping. So these are called snap downs. And now we're gonna start basically standing just as you are. You can take your feet out maybe a smidge wider. And then we're gonna come up on the toes. This time the arms are coming up with us. And then we're gonna do a little hop step and send the hips back into a hinge, bend the knees as if we're landing from a jump. So we're not actually doing the vertical part of the jump, we're doing the deceleration or the absorption of our body downwards. So I'll give you a couple of key points to think about, but this is what the movement looks like. We're gonna come up onto the toes, arms up. We don't have to hold this for very long, but we're gonna do a little hop and then send the hips back and come into this nice athletic stance. And we're gonna reset, feet a little closer, arms to the top, and then drop down. So this is the landing portion. So we want it to be soft. We want the knees to be following the feet. So when we land, we don't want the knees to come inwards here. We're nice and lined up and supported through the legs. So we're gonna go for 6 of these. They don't need to be fast. Just kind of focus on your form, check out, hold the landing to see your alignments, and then try to be as soft and cat-like as possible. So here we go, we're gonna do 6 of them. Arms up to the toes, and then hop down, nice and soft. Check out your form, reset. You then come up, come down. Nice, excellent job. Starting to feel a little bit more athletic already. So we're gonna work on a rotational progression now. So this is gonna be 2-sided. We'll do one side and then the other side after. Coming back to this hip hinge position that we were just in with the landing of our little hops, we're gonna think about the hips going back, knees a little bit bent, and then basically starting hip width apart with the feet already. Now we're adding a rotation into the mix. So hips are gonna go back, nice and square, just as you were before. Then we're gonna pick the side. I'm gonna go to the right. I'm gonna pivot my left foot, and I'm gonna rotate my upper body towards the right. So when I do this, I should feel a big stretch in the side of my right hip if I'm doing the position correctly. So let's reset. We're gonna do that again. Hips go straight back as if you're pushing a door closed or you're reaching for a wall behind you. And then from here, left leg pivots in, shoulders rotate to the right. And then now I feel this big stretch in the outside of my right hip. Now notice one more thing before we do our working set, that when I pivot and turn, my right leg is still in nice alignment. So I'm not allowing my right foot to turn or my right knee to turn out, which is kind of what your body wants to do. So prevent that from happening, really sit into that right hip. So hips go back, let's pattern that. Pivot and rotate. And then from here, we're just going to come up to standing essentially and extend the hips back up to the top for this first set. So we'll do 6 of these on the right, 6 of them on the left. Hips back, pivot and rotate. Exhale to stand. Doesn't feel very athletic right now, but we'll be speeding this up, adding some more fluidity and load in the following weeks. Exhale up. Then you can start to smooth it out if it's starting to feel a little bit better as you go through. Try to hinge and rotate at the same time. Great. Same thing on the left. So hips go back, knees a little bit bent, pivot the right foot this time, and then rotate the shoulders towards the left. Stand up. Do that again, hips back, pivot and rotate. Find that big stretch in the left hip. Stand up. Break it down to build it up. It's like learning a new dance move. Good. One more. Find the stretch. Excellent job. So we'll come back to this. Now we're working on change of direction, another athletic quality. So we're gonna work on a side lunge, 6 to the right, 6 to the left. So from center, feet right underneath your hips, we're gonna take a side lunge out to the side, sit into the hip again, looking for the foot, knee, and hip to be in alignment. Left leg is straight. And then same kind of loading of the hip and the quad here, and then push back to center, as if the floor could move. There's a platform, you're pushing it away with power. So 6 reps to the right, here we go. Breathe in, step out, load, push, nice and strong to come back. Breathe in, sit, exhale back. Last one on the right. Nice. So we're going to the left, same deal. We're gonna step out, sit into that left leg, left hip, and then push back to center. Breathe in, drive the floor away. All one motion. So I'm really extending the knee and the hip at the same time. Soft down, load, strong and fast on the way up. Nice. Awesome, great work. Last movement, we're gonna work on producing power and force without leaving the ground. So the hang clean is gonna be our exercise that we're gonna do for that. So I'm gonna grab some weights and I'm gonna show you the first progression of this sequential movement that we will work on week to week. So you'll have 2 weights, and then we're starting with a hip hinge, which we've already been practicing. Shoulders are gonna be back, hips are gonna be back, knees apart, and then we're going to extend the hips. I'll show you slowly, come up to standing, and then we're coming up onto the toes and shrugging the shoulders to the ears as we come up. So that's the slow pattern. We're gonna speed it up in a second. We'll do 6 of these. So again, hip hinge down, knees apart, and then extend the legs first, come up to the toes, and then shrug the shoulders up to the ears on the way up. So slow on the way down, faster on the way up for 6. At speed, it looks like this. Breathe in and reset. So here we go for 6. So you might be asking, why the shrug? Why are we all of a sudden shrugging? I've been told not to. For the clean movement, when we eventually do the full movement, we're gonna want the shoulders up so that our weights go in the upward trajectory. So it'll make sense as we go through the series. Great work. Grab some water if you like. Take a breath. We're gonna come back to our landing practice in our snap downs. 6 of these. So again, this is gonna be up on the toes with the arms up, and then little hop step, split, and land softly, gracefully, and supported. So here we go for our snap downs. Breathe in. Exhale on the way down. Throw your arms down as you land. Come into that hip hinge, knees bent position. Nice and even through both legs. Last one. Nice work. Take a breath here. We're coming to our rotational chops here, patterning this. So hip hinge, but then we're adding our pivot and rotation to one side. So we're gonna go to the right. So again, slow, it's hips back, pivot the left leg, rotate the shoulders to the right. Again, we're gonna be adding speed and load to this over time. Come up, extend the hips, reset. So here we go, 6 on each side. Break it down, really focus on finding that stretch in the side of the right hip, not allowing your right leg to pivot out. Nice work. Same thing on the second side to the left. Hips are gonna go back. Pivot the right leg in, rotate the shoulders to the left, and then stand up. Hips back, pivot, extend. So we're learning how to load the hip. It's all about the hips with dynamic athletic movement. So if your hips are getting a workout in basically all of these exercises. One more for good measure because I lost count. Great job. Side lunges, one side at a time. We'll start on the right. We're gonna breathe in, take that step soft, absorb, and then strong to press out. Soft and slow down, strong, fast to press out. Push the floor. Create that power. Last one. Change of direction. Whoa, almost pushed myself right over. Second side to the left. Breathe in. Sit back. Drive the entire leg in one motion. Again, load into the hip. Find it. Last one, everything you got. So you'll notice we're not doing a ton of repetitions for these movements, but we want to commit to the energy and the power output that we're looking for. So they will add up because we're using a lot of the same muscles for each exercise, but it's really about the effort that you put into them once you learn the patterning. So grab your weights for the hang clean, just to the shrug exercise. We're gonna go hip width apart with the feet, shoulders back, grip your weights tight, hip hinge, slow on the way down, and then faster on the way up. Really focus on using your legs primarily for generating power out of the bottom. So really not using the arms at all, just at that very top position with the shrug, so that we can direct our weights upwards when we do our full clean movement later in other classes. So breathing in, hinge, hips back, exhale up. It's faster, but it's still gradual on the way up. There's an acceleration that happens. Just up on the toes for a second. Last one. Nice work. So we've come to our final set of the day before we start to cool it down. You're doing great. Again, do you feel activated, a little bit springier, a little bit more athletic. That's the whole point. Even if you don't identify as being an athlete, super good to learn this training. So we're gonna do our last round from the snap downs. Here again, force absorption, think ninja cat, soft and nimble. So here we go. Up on the toes, arms up, hop. Get into that nice supported stance in the bottom. Throw the arms down. I waited a little too long at the top. 2 more. Awesome, super good. Take a breath. Last set of rotational chops. Let's try to be a little bit more fluid in our pattern this time. So you're gonna hinge and rotate simultaneously if you can. So already start to rotate your shoulders to the right as your hips go back with the pivot. Here, load the hip as if you're gonna throw something on the diagonal. It'll feel a little bit more purposeful when we're holding weight, but holding objects can be a distraction when we're learning. So try our best here to imagine that. Breathe in, sit into the right, stand up. Find the stretch in the right hip. You can imagine you're holding something. Last one. Great job. Left side, reset. Already start your rotation of the shoulders as you sit to the left this time. Pivot the right foot, stand back up. Imagine you're throwing your object from your hip. Wind it up. Last one. Excellent job. Last set of side lunges here. Reset. Again, all about the hips, creating that power. So we're gonna send one leg out to the side. We're going to the right. Breathe in, exhale, push. As strong as you can. Slow on the way down. Push. Nice work. Left side, last side. Here again, breathe in, come down, exhale up. Everything you got. These last few repetitions. Excellent job. Last exercise of the day is our hang clean to that shrug at the top. So grab your weights. Here again, generating all the force from the lower half. Shoulders are back, lats are engaged, hips go back, knees apart. Breathe in from the legs. All the way up to the shrug and the toes just for a second at the top. We're extending everything. Last one. Nice, great work. Awesome. So we're gonna come down to the mat for a couple of cool down stretches here. Bring the heart rate back down and the nervous system. So meet me down here in a tall seated position. So legs are going to be in front of you. And we're sitting up tall. You can have a slight bend in the knees if that's more comfortable for you. You can also grab a band, place it around the feet if that's helpful as well. If you feel like you're falling backwards, try to sit up as tall as you can. You could also sit elevated with your hips on a pillow. That's very helpful here. So we're gonna try to fold forward, pulling your toes towards your face, heels away from you, and then start to reach towards the ankles or the toes or the feet. For the spine position, it's okay if it rounds here. We're just looking for a nice big stretch through the whole posterior side of your body. And then start to slow the breathing here, taking longer exhales. If this stretch feels very intense, just give it some time. Pay attention to where you feel it the most. Breathe into the belly. One more big breath. Slowly coming out of this position here. And then we're going to come all the way onto your back for the last stretch. So slowly come down. Arms are going to be out in a T position with your palms facing the ceiling. And then we're going to straighten your left leg, lift your right leg, keep it bent or straight actually if you want to. Here it's up to you. And then cross the right leg all the way over to the floor and relax the right arm and shoulder in this big twist. Breathe into the torso. Great stretch for a few areas, as you can probably feel. Chest, shoulder, back, hips. After all of our exercises that really targeted the hips, this feels nice. One more breath here. And then slowly coming out of this side here, rolling back onto your back. You're going to straighten the right leg, bend and lift the left leg. Again, you can straighten this top leg as well to come across. Totally up to you. Try both, see what you like better. So I think athletic training or dynamic movement, whatever you want to call it, can feel a little bit intimidating for used to be athletes or never athletes. I think anybody can learn these things. It's just a matter of slowing things down, understanding the positions, and then speeding things up and practicing over time. So that's what we hope to achieve in this series. And we hope that you learn something along the way and then slowly unwind yourself from this position and make your way back up to seated. Thank you so much for joining in today's class. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and check out the Virtue Training app. The link is in the description box, and we'll see you next time. Bye.